In this video, I'm going to tell you my top tips for a tender and tasty turkey. That's on this episode of Cooking with Kibby. Cooking with Kibby. We'll make some yummy food. Cooking with Kibby, yeah. Something that rhymes with food. So put on an apron and grab you a knife. You're gonna have the time of your life. Cooking and cutting and chopping and mixing and stirring and cooking and cutting and stuff. Cooking with Kibby. 'Cause Kibby's your cooking dude. Hey everybody, it is Chef Kibby back once again. If this is your first time here on the channel, let me tell you, the Cooking with Kibby is here to help you and your family get back in the kitchen, cooking and eating together, because I believe life is better when we're cooking together. If you're somebody that wants to spend more time in the kitchen, using it as a way of creating more strong and meaningful relationships in your family's life, then hit that subscribe button somewhere down here below the video and ring the bell for notifications. I'd love for you to be a part of my online community. The holiday season is once again upon us, and that can only mean one thing: listening to that catchy Mariah Carey song at least 12 times a day. Also, it tends to be a time of year when we roast turkeys. Now, if you're feeling a little bit intimidated about the idea of roasting a turkey, maybe it's your first time, or maybe you've tried it in the past and haven't had so much luck with it, trust me, you are not alone. One of the reasons why I created this video is because I had a conversation recently with a woman named Lisa Dixon. She is a head of communications for an organization called Action Ohio. It's a great organization that is providing resources for young men and women who have aged out of the foster care system and are looking for resources to help them be stronger and more independent. She told me that one of the things that these young people tend to struggle with is using an oven. Many young people in the foster care system were never given the opportunity to use an oven. And so when they get to be on their own and trying to live independently, they don't really have a frame of reference from which to begin. My heart really goes out to them, especially being a foster and adoptive dad myself. But no matter what reason you've come here to watch this video, you're in the right place. There are so many ways to prepare a roast turkey, and I'm not intending to use this video as a way of sharing a specific recipe for preparing turkey. However, if you are looking for a couple of ideas, I'll leave a link in the show notes to a blog post of mine from a year or two ago where I shared some of my favorite preparations. So rather than sharing a specific recipe, I wanted to share with you 4 tips that will help you to get the most out of your roast turkey. Now, if you already watched my last video, which there's a link right up there above my shoulder. If you remember from my last video, we talked about the 2 factors that go into play when deciding whether or not your turkey is going to end up being tasty and delicious or dry and tough. And those are time and temperature. The first way that we can manage time and temperature is allowing the turkey to thaw completely. A turkey can be upwards of 15, 18, even 20 pounds. A protein that thick will take a very long time to thaw. So in order to make that happen, you need to purchase your bird and get it into the refrigerator with at least 3 or 5 days advanced preparation. You want to keep the turkey in a wide, tall-rimmed container because liquids and frost are going to be thawing and melting, and you don't want that stuff on the bottom of your refrigerator because that could be a potential hazard for cross-contamination. And as you saw from this video, we don't want to mess with cross-contamination. So you want to put your turkey in your refrigerator in a space where they can get a lot of airflow, a lot of air circulation, and a tall rimmed container so that it's going to catch all those juices that are going to come out of it. The second thing you can do is invest in a thermometer. I recommend one of 2 varieties. You have the instant read thermometer, like this one, that I use on a very regular basis when I'm cooking in my home kitchen. What's nice about it is that it's really easy to read, it's easy to use, reads out a temperature within just a couple of seconds, so you really don't have to wait very long. The other thing you can look into, and this is very much preferred in a situation like this where a roast is going to be in the oven for a very long time, is a probe thermometer. Now, a probe thermometer is very similar to an instant read thermometer, except that it has a really long cord to it. And what's nice about that is that you can stick it into the thickest part of your turkey and then be able to monitor the temperature on the outside of the oven. What's even better is if you happen to have an oven where it has a probe thermometer that actually attaches into the inside of the oven. Then you can actually monitor the temperature right on the front dial of the stove and not have any other wires hanging around any place. The third tip on tender and tasty turkey is letting it rest. If you remember from this video right here, I talked a little bit about muscle fibers, and when exposed to high amounts of heat, muscle fibers will contract and they will build up a lot of pressure. If you were to take that turkey out of the oven and slice it immediately, it would be like bursting open a water balloon. All of the juices from that turkey would run out on the cutting board and on the pan or maybe on the table, and you're going to end up with really dry turkey. However, if you let the turkey rest for say 15 to 20 minutes, you're going to allow all those muscle fibers to relax, and then when you slice into it, the juices are more likely to stay inside the bird, which is going to leave your turkey more tender and juicy. Now, the fourth and final tip is more of a choice in product than it is in preparation. If this is your first time preparing a turkey and you're feeling a little bit intimidated by it, especially when it comes to carving around all the different bones and joints and things like that, don't feel like you have to start out with a whole bird. You can start out with a boneless turkey breast. They are very economical, that you can get a very large piece to feed a large number of people, and they're very easy to manage, especially when it comes to carving, because you're not working around cartilage and bones and joints and things like that. So let's recap our 4 tips. First of all, let that turkey thaw out at least 3 to 5 days before attempting to roast it. Secondly, get yourself a thermometer, whether an instant read or a probe thermometer. Third, let the bird rest for at least 15 to 20 minutes before trying to slice it. Fourth, and finally, start out with a boneless turkey breast before attempting to go with the whole bird. I hope you found this information incredibly helpful. If so, be sure to hit that like button and leave a comment section in this video to let me know what it is next that you would like to learn from me. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. This is a great opportunity to get your family in the kitchen cooking and eating together because, as I always say, life is better when we're cooking together. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you in the kitchen.